Good morning and welcome to another edition of Los Banos Today. I'm your host, Josh Chagnon. And with me today in a business review for the Los Banos Morning Show, we have a representative of Pacheco's Insurance.
Good morning.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Nicole. How are you all doing?
Nice to meet you. So Pacheco Insurance, tell us a little about your guys' business.
So Pacheco Insurance has been in business roughly 30 years plus. First thing you have to understand about insurance is it is something you have to have a license for.
It's one of those things that...
So it's very difficult.
Right.
And you have to know your stuff. For the most part, Pacheco Insurance, the company is totally about the community. We try to do everything we can to possibly help everybody, rate-wise, whatever.
Nice. Okay. And so you guys, roughly 30 years? That's a long time.
Yes. It's Chris and Lucille. And Chris has been doing this for many, many years. He is retired military. And they speak, was it Portuguese? Portuguese,
Probably.
They do Spanish.
Around here, that's kind of the
everything.
Thing. That's a big one.
They do it, and they will do whatever they can. So the language is never a language barrier.
No.
So that's a nice thing because I only speak English. But if I have a Spanish client, the phone's only a minute away.
Bam, it's right there.
It is, and they just take it up and they take over for me.
Nice. Okay. So insurance. You're talking life. You're talking house, car. I heard pet.
We got pets. We have commercial. We have, let's see, we also have ranch insurance. If you want to do just a one-day event, depending on what it is, we can do that. We do restaurants. I'm trying to think. There are so many that we do. And the thing is that it's not necessarily just farmers.
Right.
We are brokers as well, so we can outsource. So we have a couple of companies to pick from. So let's say farmers won't take you as a driver. Well, guess what? We have another one that we do.
Nice.
So we pick those up. Because farmers, how do I say this? Farmers necessarily won't take everybody. Mm-hmm. Because of the good driver. If you're not a good driver, they won't accept you. Well, everybody gets mad about that. Well, let's talk about that because now that has to do with your rates. Okay, farmers, in order to keep their rates low, they want everybody to be a good driver so that they can keep their rates low. If you get an accident, several claims, then they will put you with Bristol West until you do get a good driving record, and that takes 3 years to clear off.
Oh, wow.
For the most part. So that's how the rates work for the most part. Other than that, then the state will, in order for a company to raise rates, they have to go through the Department of Insurance through the state of California.
Yeah, they don't just raise them. There's a thing that they have to go through.
And it has to be approved, and each company can raise the rates differently. Mostly they raise them depending on how many accidents occur within that company in that area. Now, if there's a ton, say LA, they're going to raise them through the roof.
Oh, LA.
Maybe 12% in a year, but it has to be approved. So we are farmers. So farmers, maybe 6%. And it hasn't even been recently. A lot of the stuff is, and I'm not just biased to farmers because, like I said, I've Googled it myself. Google's a wonderful tech tool.
I love it.
You can Google anything. And Google definitely told me that farmers is the best home insurance in this area. And auto, we have so many discounts. So you get a life policy, you get a home policy. It just triples. Not only that, you get a good student. We do a YES program. We do the pet insurance. We do the commercial insurance, commercial auto.
Okay, hold on. How does pet insurance work? So if you got Scruffy who keeps getting out of the yard, right? And he just runs out and gets flattened. You get paid? I know it sounds cruel, and I'm sorry, but how does that work?
Just like car insurance. You know when you go to car insurance, you'll pick your deductible if you want full coverage. You'll pick your whatever you want it to be covered.
Right.
Farm insurance or pet insurance has got 3 different ones. So you pick and choose. So if you just want the basic maintenance, so
you want your basic pet package.
Yes, you have a basic one. And the thing is I actually had to ask them, but they do. Your dog gets hit. Okay, you have to take it to the vet because it's obviously an emergency, right?
Absolutely.
And the vet looks at you and says, "I'm really sorry. You know, there's nothing we can really do. The best bet is to euthanize him." Well, let me tell you, I've had a 200-pound dog, and it's not cheap at all. But in that case, because the vet said that's the only thing that they can do, pet insurance will cover it.
Wow. No, now that's a good idea.
They will take, okay, so you have a dog, just like life insurance for people. Think about it that way. Or health insurance for people. It's the same concept. So your dog, let's say, normally great health, the vet says, hey, clean puppy, good job. And then maybe weighs down, it gets cancer.
Something.
Yeah, they will
gets
cover
into
it.
a giant 1-pound chocolate bar and just it can't take it.
They will
Something.
cover, just depending on the package. And it is cheap. It's like $10-15
Oh yeah, that's not bad at all.
a month. And let me tell you, a vet visit is a lot more.
Well, and we were talking about before the interview, which again, great interview before the interview.
Always.
You were saying, everybody gets the insurance on their phone.
Correct.
Nobody gets life insurance.
Nobody gets life insurance.
And that's one of those things, like you said, I'm going to live forever. I can smoke all the cigarettes I want. It'll never happen to me. But nobody really thinks about that. And you were saying it's just about the same.
Yeah, they're about the same. And, I'm young. When we're young, we don't think about the future. We don't think about our life in the aspects of accidents because in this world, an accident is never an accident. It's always somebody's fault. But wait a minute. What happens when you die? Who's going to pay for the cost? Regardless of whose fault it is.
Because what really matters is who's going to have to pay that.
Same thing with retirement. And I'm definitely totally guilty because I always thought, well, why am I going to spend $20 a month when I could put that in my gas tank? Well, realistically, that gas isn't going to pay for my funeral if I die. If I get into a car accident and die, what am I supposed to just leave my body there until they figure out, whose fault it is?
What would you say is average around now for having to pay? Last I heard it was like $10,000.
Again, life insurance, there's so many variations. It's not funny.
Oh no, I mean like to take care of all of the arrangements
expenses?
and
I think 10,000 to 15. 15
Jeez
if you
Louise.
want to do the burial, the casket,
Right,
and all
right,
that.
right.
I think cremation. I think I was told 8,000,
Oh,
8 to
wow.
10,000. So I mean, and that's
get
just
some
for
life
simplicity.
insurance.
Not only
Go
that,
get it.
But if you have a family, what's going to happen to your family?
Right, and that's what I mean. Go get it so that you don't have to be a burden to anybody, and it's taken care of, and everybody's just
It's cheap, and the younger you are, the cheaper it is.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's a lot of that.
Now, so where are you guys located?
That's another thing. We are about convenience. We have 4 different locations. We are in Dos Palos, we are in Los Banos, we are in Hilmar, and we are in Gustin.
Gustin, nice.
Gustin, yes.
Yeah.
So we have all those offices, and every one of us is licensed to sell for you.
Sweet. Well, awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming on to the
Not a
show.
problem. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. So Pacheco Insurance. And again, thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch you next time. I'm Josh Chagnon, and this has been Las Banos Today, your news for your town.
See ya.